Hey, hey, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. If you are a mother out there, if you have mothered someone in your lifetime, then today is your day. I hope that people are celebrating you and loving on you and recognizing all the beautiful, earthy energy that you have brought to the planet. I appreciate you. I hope everyone else is appreciating you. Mentioning earthy energy, we're still in this beautiful Taurus energy, and we've had this energy happening for a while now from the eclipse and focusing on slowing down, focusing on connecting to what's really important to us, what we love, what feels good and comfy. So I hope you continue doing that this week. Make sure that you check out our video from 31 Days of Biz. So, the city of Charlotte, where I live, recognizes small businesses in the month of May, and we were one of the businesses. So, we posted the video. I hope you go check it out. You can also use the hashtag 31 Days of Biz, B-I-Z, to find it on Instagram or other social media, but you can just check the page, the YouTube page, and watch it for yourself. So, without further ado, I will give the cards one last little shuffle and we will pull our 5 cards. All right. So, for spiritual connection, we have the World card. Beautiful way to start. Next, we have our Health and Happiness card. And here we have the 5 of Swords. Can't tell if y'all can see this, but next we have our love and relationships. And there we have the Death card again this week. We're not letting go of something, y'all. Next, we have our business and career, and that is the 4 of Swords. And for our overall card, we have the Queen of Swords. So, looks like we're going to be trying to get into this Gemini energy a little bit early. There's a lot of air thoughts, communication, focusing that is swirling around us this week. So, let's see what's going on here. So, let's start with our spiritual connection card here. And we have the World card, which is just so beautiful in this deck. I mean, it's beautiful in every deck, but the World card is the end of this cycle of learning, of big life lessons, of learning. And what jumps out at me this week for us when we talk about spiritual connection is this feeling of not just completion, but this feeling of having come full circle and a readiness to show up for the next thing. So if you've been working on, maybe a meditation practice, a mindfulness practice, journaling, or some other way of really connecting within, it feels like this week that work has been paying off and you're starting to kind of feel yourself. You're starting to be ready to show up a little bit differently, show up with these skills that you've been honing in the physical world. And so do it. So show up big and bold and beautiful and, keep your clothes on, unless that's your profession to not have your clothes on. But just show up really big this week and using all these skills that you've been practicing with yourself. So that feels really good. It feels really good this week. Okay, next we will move on to our health and happiness. And here we have the 5 of Swords. So this week it looks like you are finding joy, you're finding happiness in places that might feel unfamiliar to others. Other people may not understand why you're finding happiness in the places that you are. You may even be trying to show them that, hey, look at this thing that I'm loving, I'm enjoying, that's making me happy. And they're like, what is going on? You are a crazy person. And I feel like this is coming from a change that has happened in yourself, in your energy, that is allowing you to express yourself in a different way. That's allowing you to be okay with the person that you are, even if you don't fit in with the crowd. You're starting to change and showing that part of yourself that maybe you were hiding before, and it's feeling really good to you. And I just want you to know that again, this week, people may not understand it, they may not connect to it, but don't let that take away from the happiness that you are getting from it. All right. Okay, next, let's move on to our love and relationships card. And here we have the death card. Now, we had the death card last week. Um, I forget where it was. I don't think it was here. But the death card is about endings, natural endings, things that need to come to an end. And they're also about the rebirth of who you become when you let those things go. And so this week, when you're thinking about the relationships that you have with people, think about what you need to let go. I feel like this is you personally. It's not necessarily about a relationship or another person that you need to let go, but there's a part of who you are in a certain relationship in your life that you need to let go. You need to let go of that version of yourself that keeps showing up so that you can be more authentic, so that you can have a deeper connection with other people in a particular relationship. It feels like there's another version of you ready to kind of come forward. Kind of what we saw in the World card and in the Five of Swords. There's this piece of you that you've had kind of buried and haven't allowed to be free, and it's been holding you down. It's been kind of simmering under the surface, but you haven't really closed the door to that chapter in your life and who that person who you needed to be, that version of yourself that you needed to be. But it feels like now is the time. It feels like there have maybe been signs that have been coming up for you that are telling you it's time to let this part of you go, especially the way that you are in relation to others. You've got to let that go so that this, much healthier version comes through. A version that people really can connect with. The people that you need to have around you will be drawn to. Okay, so let go of that old version. Focus on the rebirth. Focus on the rebrand of who you are because it's time. Okay, next, let's move on to our business and career. And here we have the Four of Swords. So, what I really am getting here is this. Again, I mentioned in the beginning, there's a lot of communication energy here, lots of swords energy. And the Four of Swords, specifically in this business and career section, it almost feels like a trust fall. It almost feels like you've created something, whether it's at work or in your business, you have created something that you've been working on. It's been maybe a passion project for you. You've involved other people. You've gotten to a point where you're ready to maybe collaborate with other people and think about ways that you can start to build, that you can start to create more stability and structure to grow this business or at work. But you're at this impasse where you've kind of done as much as you can do without trusting in other people, without trusting in either folks that you work with or who work for you or people that you can collaborate with. I've had a lot of conversations lately about collaboration, and collaboration is huge for me, but it does involve a good amount of trust. You have to trust that you can negotiate with people, that you can kind of do that dance of give and take with other people, that other people are going to respect the work that you're building and growing together. So it does involve a certain level of trust to get to a point where you find stability, where you're able to start really manifesting more once you allow yourself to just relinquish a little bit of control and, yeah, just trust. And you're going to have to communicate that trust. People don't know, people can't read your mind, especially people that you want to collaborate with. You're going to have to tell people some hard, honest truths that maybe I have been struggling with trusting myself enough to let this piece go, or opening up to trusting other people. But I want to do that now. I want to do that with you. Can we do that together? And I think people are really going to respond to that and really hear you when you say that. And it's going to really help you grow so much. That feels good. Okay. Last but not least is our overall card. And here we have the Queen of Swords. And, she really is the epitome of holding court so that people can share what they need to share and you receive it, and vice versa. Again, this whole spread really has kind of screamed out communication and thinking and thoughts and planning, not the doing necessarily just yet, but just allowing yourself to think about who you are differently and think about what you're trying to achieve a little bit differently. And the Queen of Swords is here to remind you, like, you got this. You are the queen of this. You have the capacity to hold court, to demand respect because you give respect. You're capable of listening to people because you are capable of speaking to people on a real human level. And so the Queen of Swords is really just, you know, reminding you that it's your time. It's your time to listen to what people have to say, to communicate to people what you need them to know. And when you do, you're going to create community. You're going to create community that feels really good to you and that you're going to appreciate for a long time. That I'm really drawn to the bull this week and the typical stubbornness that is kind of associated with the bull, but also the ease of just knowing that I'm here for a purpose and I'm just living my purpose. It doesn't have to be extra. It doesn't have to be flashy. I don't have to scream it from the rooftops. I'm here. Stability is here. I'm listening to you. I'm sharing with you. I'm communicating with you. And it just feels like this whole week, you really need to focus on really showing up, really being yourself and sharing that, talking about that, listening to other people about what that means for them, and just opening up to who you are, because there is this beautiful version of you, I think, that's been waiting, kind of like these spring flowers have been waiting to bloom, and now it's like, here we are, it's time, we waited long enough. And that's what this spread really feels like this week. So I hope that is helpful for you. I'd love to hear how your week goes, how this resonates with you. Let me know what you think about the new video, the 31 Days of Biz video. Let me know what you think there. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you give this video and that video a big thumbs up. So we will see you next week. Stay magical, y'all.